Hello viewers. My name is Mr. Mao Drongcheng, the president of South Sudanese Students Union in Uganda, but I'm currently in Kigali, Rwanda, on invitation by the South Sudanese Student Association here in Rwanda. I came here on Saturday to celebrate the 12th independence anniversary of the Republic of South Sudan. But I did not just stop at the celebration hall. I took a step to move around the city just to see on how Rwanda have developed and how they have progressed and how they have transitioned from the painful experiences of genocide to where they are now currently. This evening, I happened to be at the African Leadership University, where I've interacted with my fellow South Sudanese students studying here. And what amused me and what I really want to share with you guys this evening is how I've seen these students taking their education so serious. Yeah, you will agree with me that academic excellence is paramount in making sure we transform our societies. You will agree with me that learning in this 21st century, just like I've seen here in African Leadership University, is not only restricted to the course units, to the few course units that you're doing. You must cut across different disciplines. You must get to know how things are supposed to be done elsewhere, and you see on how you can integrate such kind of skills and learnings in making sure at least you craft something and for your own people. Here in Rwanda, this is a country, just like I mentioned earlier, it's a country that has got a very, very, very painful experience, and I think that really resonates with our own as the people of South Sudan. Therefore, we need to emulate some of these kind of innovation that these people are using in making sure that they craft a country that is united, a country that is progressing, a country that is looking forward to overtake any other country within the region and in the continent. We as South Sudanese, especially with the young people, we have the potential to do so. We have the potential to do so. I encourage whoever is here, either in Kigali, Rwanda, in Uganda, or anywhere in the world, to take your education so serious, get relevant skills that you will be able to use them once you come back home. It is so unfortunate and it is so shameful that you will find a lot of South Sudanese students after their studies, they go home with their masters, with their bachelors, with their diploma, and then they head up on the streets of Juba waiting for a government to come and employ you. Even here in Rwanda, there are no readily jobs. Okay? As a young person, you must creatively use what you have acquired in class to create a job either for yourself or for the people within that part of the country. We are in a country where everything is virgin. You're starting from the private sector, you go to the public sector, you will get to know that there are things that are actually, there is no competition whatsoever in the way things, are supposed to be done. Just a matter of picking your skill. It's either skills in programming, it's either Python skills, either skill in GIS, it's either skill in petrol, it's either any skills, either skill in journalism, just like this TV I'm using. And this is for South Sudanese. And these are the ideas and the skills that we need to emulate, and we will be able to make sure at least the country is taken forward. But one thing we need to know is that the public sector may not accommodate all of us. The government position may not accommodate all of us. Yes, it is important for our government to set up policies, that favors the growth of other sectors. I know it is the work of our government to also create security and making sure there is political stability within the country. Okay? But should we wait for the government, even if the government is slow in making sure such things are there? Should we wait for the government and we wait wherever we are and we wait for somebody else to come and pick up from there? No. Rwanda has adapted the developmental model from one of the countries in Asia. Okay, that is Singapore, right? We should also now adopt what is taking place in Rwanda. We take it back home. South Sudan's youthful population is about 70% of the population. That means if there is tribalism, it is with the young people promoting tribalism. That means if it is illiteracy, it means 7% of our population if it is illiterate, that means a bigger percentage of that are the young people. If these are the young people, fighting themselves, okay, this is the high time we should transition from these negative, ideas of tribalism, of fighting ourselves, and we move to ideas of crafting a united, prosperous South Sudan. And how will we be able to arrive to such kind of thinking? First of all, we need to reflect on how our forefathers and mothers, went to the bush 40 years ago, pick up arms against the then forces of oppression in the then Sudan. Okay, our fathers never had this sort of tribalism within them. Our fathers never had this sort of corruption within them. Our fathers never had this sort of mediocrity that we're actually emulating right now within them. Now, where are all these things coming from? This is the right time we should build ourselves. Look at how the world is advancing in terms of technological advancement. Okay, we as young people, we are well positioned. We have advantage. We can make advantage of this technological advancement, such as the social media. Okay, this is the high time we should think positively towards our country. Yes, I agree with all of you that our government back home is not doing enough, but still that is not the reason to keep us away from the country. If you are done with your program here, it is either a diploma, go back home. Don't go back to your village. If it means you teaching there, you go and teach. You are contributing in eliminating literacy in the country. If it means you going back home, you also tells your close relative that revenge killing will not take us anywhere. You don't need anybody to employ you to make such kind of of initiative. Okay. If it means you going to a village, you carry out project campaigning, making sure girl child's education is promoted in South Sudan. Okay. If you finish your health related course, go back to the village. Help people understand some of these diseases. Our population are dying of diseases which are preventable. Just a matter of highlighting some of these preventive measures, and our population will ideally thrive at the end of the day. And above all, we need to pick the ideas of voluntarism, just like our forefathers exhibited 40 years ago. Okay, this time around, my young South Sudanese doesn't want to teach in class just because nobody is giving you money. But why don't you think of your father who went to the bush to fight a very well-equipped army of the then Sudan, maybe with a fungi just on his hand? Nobody paid him, but he was doing so because he saw it necessary for him to go and fight and protect the people of the then Southern Sudan. Why can you illuminate such kind of ideas now as we're speaking? This is just the message I want to share with you. That first of all, that to summarize, that learning is not only in class. You can learn beyond your class, please. Okay, and for us to be able to provide a well-competent force in a country, we must embrace academic excellence. You need not to settle, things, that will let us down at the end of the day. Two is that we as young people need to change our perspective in our country. We need to be positive. We need to be positive of our country. Yes, there have been a lot of things going on, okay, but we need to focus on the positive things. We need to focus on the positive angles, okay, of the issues. How do you see yourself providing solutions? Just think of yourself as the person who will provide solutions, not creating more issues. And at the end of the day, we need to encourage volunteerism. Volunteer wherever you have, okay? Just like we are volunteering in our different associations. Volunteer as a teacher, volunteer like a health worker, volunteer as a civil servant. Wherever you are, whatever you can manage as your personal capacity, please volunteer, okay? Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rwanda, for the good hospitality. We have learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure we will be able to use some of these experiences, first of all, in managing our own association and our own union back in South Sudan, in Kampala, Uganda, and also in making sure at least we transport some of these skills that we have acquired in our different learning institutions back home. And thank you so much.